How's it going, my brothers and sisters? I wanted to come and give make another video today. To clear some heads about Adam and Eve. So I'm gonna start with this verse in Genesis chapter 2, verse 16. It says, Lord God commanded the man, saying, for every tree of the garden thus may freely eat, but the tree of knowledge, good and evil, thus shall not eat it. For in the days that thus eateth thereof, thus shall surely die. So understand, God told him not to eat from that tree, from the garden. From the tree of knowledge, good and evil. But understand why God said not to eat of the tree. When you was a little kid, your mom used to tell you, hey, don't touch the stove. We was like, why? Why shouldn't we touch the stove? Like, is it gonna give us superpowers or something? And your mom told you don't touch the stove. And what did we wind up doing? Touching a hot stove. And that's what God is telling Adam and Eve. But watch this. Watch and pay attention to what happens on Adam's disobedience. And he wasn't just disobedient. He actually blamed God. Now watch. It says, now we're going to skip to chapter 3. It says, we already know that God gave Adam a wife, and he called her Eve, flesh of his flesh and bone of his bone. And he told her pretty much, you can only eat the trees that's in the garden, but not the ones in the middle of the garden. And Eve made that clear to the devil. Now watch this. It says, we're going to start with chapter 2. It says, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees in the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the middle of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. What did the serpent go ahead and tell her? He went and told her half the truth. You will surely not die if you touch it. Look, go ahead, touch it. You didn't die, did you? See, the serpent only told her half the truth, because guess what? When you are in sin, guess what? You're dead. What God said, if you be disobedient to what I'm telling you, and you go ahead and put yourself into sin, you're going to die. Sin is death. But we finna clear it all up. And it says, for God doeth know that in the days that ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, lowercase g, knowing good and evil. And when the woman that seen that the tree was good, she took the fruit and ate it. Then she gave her husband some of the fruit. Now watch this, pay attention. And the man said, the woman whom, watch this, she already gave Adam some of that fruit that God said not to touch. Now watch. God went into the field and he started calling Adam. Adam, where are you? And he said, I heard you and I hid myself. And he said, and I was naked and I hid myself. He said, who told you were naked? Watch this. And then he went on and read and said, he said, who told you there that thee was naked? Has thus eaten of the tree whereof I commanded ye not to, you shouldn't eat of. And the man said, the woman whom thus gave me, and I ate. What did he do? He blamed God. He said, the woman you gave me some of that fruit and I did eat. So this is your fault, God. No. You have your own salvation. Your wife, your husband is not the reason why you're going to go to hell. You are the reason. Understand, Adam blamed God. He said, the woman that you gave me some of the fruit and I ate. Watch this. The reason why, and this is me, I'm believing this myself. I believe that the tree of life is still here on earth because, watch this. And chapter 22 is going to back up why I believe that. Watch this. And it says, and the Lord God said, behold, man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. Therefore, the Lord God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden and tilled the ground from whence he was taken. Watch this, verse 22. And so he drove them out, the man, and he placed at the east of the garden and of Eden a cherubim and a flaming sword, which turns every way to keep away from the tree of life. So I'm believing that the tree of life is still here, but it's guarded. That's my belief. It says it right there. He drove them out the Garden of Eden. Where was Eden? It wasn't in heaven. See, the Garden of Eden is here. So if God drove them out of the Garden of Eden, where is the garden? Where is Eden? It's on earth. See, God came from heaven, and he walked on this earth, and he said, Adam, where are they? And he said, oh, I heard your voice, and I covered myself because I was naked. You see, on earth. Where did Adam name the animals? On earth. God said that he formed clay in the form of man and breathed on it, and he created man. So that's my beliefs. I don't know. Listen, I might be right, I might be wrong, but think about it. He put a cherubim right there to guard with a flaming sword pointing each and every way to guard the Garden of Eden of the tree of life. Because if they would have ate of that tree as well, it was in the midst of the garden. It was two trees in the middle of the garden. Now, if we all think that it was only one tree, why would God say he had to cast him out of the Garden of Eden? Because they would have took their hand and put it forth to the tree of life. It was right next to the tree of good and evil. It was two trees in the middle of the garden. See, Eve, she said we can eat of every tree but the ones in the midst, in the middle of the garden. And right there it says what trees was there. It was the tree of life of good and evil. I mean, the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and the tree of life. So God had to cast them out because they already disobeyed God by doing what he told them not to do. So he said, if they already disobeyed me on that point, they're going to eat from the next tree. So I might as well cast them out now. And what's wrong with Adam? Blaming God. Like, hey, God, you did that. You gave me this one. Like you should have been like, no, woman, I'm not finna. You should have smacked that out of that woman's hand. No, I'm not going to eat that. You're not finna mess up what I got with God. Like, you finna mess up your own salvation, not mine. Like, no, That's what Adam should have did, but he didn't. Us, man, we need to step up. If your woman is trying to do something wrong, trying to steal from somebody, trying to put the blame on somebody, step up. We cannot put the blame on anybody. We can't blame, oh, this woman that you gave me. We can't do that. That's what he did. That's why we are in all this sin that we're in. We're born in sin because he said the woman that, and God's like, you really gonna blame me for what you did? Like, come on, Adam. Like, you could have smacked it. You've been in this garden this long and you haven't ate from that tree. You should have smacked it out that woman's hand and was, hey, you know something, God, I'll take the blame because I didn't tell this woman right. We have our own salvation, people. And in the end of days, God's going to say, what did you do with the woman I gave you? If you don't step up and say, God, you know something, it's my fault. Whatever she did is my fault. Reason why? Because God want to see where your heart is at. And if your heart is like, hey, I'm putting her under the bus, guess where you're going to be? You're going to be the one that's under the bus. And the end of the days, when we are there to get judged, step up to the plate, people. We're men. And if you have your wife, you have to step up to that plate. As much as y'all disagree on things, as much as, men and women, we're not the same. We don't have the same thoughts. Women have this feminine thought, men have this manly, strong thought. You know what I mean? We think tools and things like that. Women think nails and makeup and perfume, We don't have the same thoughts. We like each other, yes, because, that's who God put you with. And understand, that's who you supposed to grow old with. But one thing that we do all need to understand,